It started like any other Monday in Washington, July 20th, 2026. House Rules Committee, Room H313, the Capitol. Nobody expected fireworks. They were there to move a stack of bills to stop Insider Trading Act, a budget resolution, routine business, the kind of hearing that usually fades into the footnotes of history. But this one didn't fade. This one became a moment. Because when Jim McGovern, the ranking Democrat from Massachusetts, leaned into that microphone, he wasn't just reading talking points. He was telling a story about debt, a story 18 months in the making. He looked across the room at Budget Chairman Jodey, Arrington, and he said it plain. You control the House. You control the Senate. You control the White House. And nothing is your responsibility. That line landed like a gavel. Then he did the math right there, live in front of the cameras. Since January 20, 2025, the national debt had climbed from $36.2 trillion to $39.5 trillion. That's $3.3 trillion added in 18 months. And now, sitting in front of him was a new reconciliation bill. One Democrat said could pile on another $4.7 trillion over the next decade. No offsets, no pay-fors, just more borrowing, stacked on top of more borrowing. McGovern didn't stop there. He brought up the $150 billion appropriated for defense the previous July and noted that half of it was still unspent. Even his new war funding request came through the pipeline, including billions tied to the ongoing operation in Iran. He wasn't inventing a narrative. He was reading numbers straight off the page, numbers that came from the Congressional Budget Office numbers. Arrington himself couldn't fully deny, he just called them misleading and moved on. But the story wasn't finished. Because a few seats down, Congressman Neguse from Colorado picked up a different thread. The Stop Insider Trading Act on paper, it sounded like reform, a bill to finally stop members of Congress from trading stocks on inside information. Something the American people have wanted for years. Something polls show broad bipartisan support for, but Neguse read the fine print and he found the loophole. The bill banned buying individual stocks. It said nothing about selling them. He turned to Congressman Bryan Steil and asked the question everyone in that room needed answered. If buying is corrupt, why isn't selling? Why does a member of Congress get to unload stock before bad news breaks, but not buy shares before good news does? Steil didn't have a clean answer. And Neguse reminded the room of history, how a senator had legally sold stock right before the COVID-19 pandemic hit, under rules just like the ones being proposed again. This is the story of a hearing that was supposed to be routine and became a mirror held up to two things. Americans have grown tired of watching a government that borrows without asking who pays it back, and a Congress that writes rules for itself with gaps big enough to walk through. It's not about anger. It's about accountability. It's about a debt clock that doesn't stop ticking just because it's inconvenient to talk about. It's about a bill meant to restore trust that still leaves a side door open. And it's about two lawmakers who, in one afternoon, turned a quiet committee room into a place where the numbers finally got said out loud, where the American people, watching from home, got to hear the truth spoken instead of buried in a report nobody reads. History will remember July 20th, 2026. Not as the day Washington changed everything, but as the day 2 members of Congress refused to let the numbers hide anymore. And sometimes that's how accountability starts, not with a revolution. And someone simply asking, whose responsibility is this, really?